to a Flipbook. Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Elizibar. This is the Scarlet Scorpion #1. It's also Darkshade #1. We're actually going to talk about Darkshade first. So let's just crack it open. What do we get immediately? Nice black and white line work. Like, this is really solid line work. I enjoyed looking at these books a lot. They look good. So Darkshade is kind of a mystic character, and he actually he's hanging out here, and the Green Llama shows up. Now, isn't that one of those public domain characters that Dynamite tried to make a superhero team a couple years ago? It was like him, the Black Terror. Was Miss Fury in that group? Then there was Samson. I'm trying to remember who else was in that group, but I'm pretty sure like the Green Llama was one of those characters. Anyway, so Green Llama shows up. This dude's here. Eventually, this guy's like, I shall astral project myself. And there he is. There he is, astral projecting right there. And I couldn't tell you the first thing about what was going on in the story in this book because my eyes just kind of glazed over. I could not read all this text. It was not engaging. It was not interesting in the least. What I did like was the artwork itself. This stuff is really solid, man. All through this book, stuff just looks good. I wish I was like compelled to actually pay attention to what I was reading because it looks nice. This text looks good. Or not text, this art looks good. It looks like a fun, like an interesting visual treat. But a magic guy who doesn't even like roll in on the first page of his own book solo and is introduced by a public domain character that I don't care about, like that is not compelling at all. I think the Darkshade half of this flopped. The Scarlet Scorpion, on the other hand, this is a little better. Like, look at this. What a splash page. I opened this up on stream and I think I stared at it for like 20 minutes. I was like, wow. Look at that freaking lizard thing. Like, I don't know who or what this dude is, but that thing's got a good look. It looks like a monster. It looks like a monstrous enemy. All right, so we go from that to getting our guy's origin story. He receives powers from the god Capricorn or something, who's evil, and he's a vigilante, and he works for the bad guys. And yada yada. And it's all just so tiresome. Like, this origin story does nothing for me, dude. Absolutely nothing. Like, this guy is basically just like, I'm a slightly superpowered Batman as far as I can tell. Like, that's it. He has like super like reflexes, stronger and more durable than normal, and that seems to be all he's got going for him. So he goes out to do his job, right? She's out there looking to get kidnapped to try to stop some bad guys, you know, lure him into a trap. That way he can drop down and bam, take him out. He's up there, and I actually enjoy her complaint here. Like, I thought this was pretty fun. Look at him, squatting on that rooftop. Nobody pawing at him. Nobody making crude comments about his figure. I mean, you can kind of see what's going on here at this particular street corner. Come on, Ghost. Show yourself. Pew, pew, pew. Yike. Well, I wanted action. In case you don't remember me, I'm the the Magic Lantern. Yeah, there's a Green Lantern knockoff in this book. Why? In a world where you have infinite creativity. Now, I don't know if Magic Lantern is another public domain character that I just don't remember, but come on. The dude is the original Green Lantern. Like, that's what he looks like. So anyway, Magic Guy like encases him in a solid blob of light, and he gets hauled off to be interrogated and stuff, leaving his partner behind. She's naturally going to get into some trouble, right? So what happens? Does she get out of it on her own? Does he show up to save her? It actually was kind of fun to read. It was a good little bit of action. So one half of this book was all right. The other half, The art was nice on both halves. On the other hand, I would expect the art to be kind of nice in books of this like age. Like, the 80s and 90s books usually had pretty nice art. Unlike some books you buy today where you look at the art and you're like, what am I looking at? Although there is one notable exception. There was it was an X-Men book. I don't remember the title of it, and it was all about like Professor X like psychoanalyzing Sabretooth, and it was the worst looking, most boring thing I read. I'm like, this cost me $5 or $4 or whatever. Like that was all the money I had this week to spend. I was so mad at that book, and I still am to this day, 30 years later. This book, on the other hand, was okay. But having read it, like I can see why nobody remembers AC Comics and the Scarlet Scorpion or Darkshade. Like this is pretty forgettable material. After today, I'm probably not going to remember anything about this book except that I like the artwork. You know, he doesn't even really fight the monster that's on the cover of the book. Hold on. Yeah, that's just his origin story. That's like resolved in one panel. Man, talk about bait and switch. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.